And the secret behind this grilled cheese is a little bit of kimchi.
What?
Made kimchi.
What he say?
He said kimchi.
Walao, kimchi in grilled cheese?
After many requests, and I mean a lot, today we're going to be seeing how Gordon Ramsay makes a grilled cheese sandwich. I feel kind of silly reviewing a grilled cheese sandwich because it's like, it's a grilled cheese. You don't even need a video on how to make a grilled cheese. It's that simple. In any case, today we're gonna see what the fuss is about. If you are new to the channel, guys, my name is James. I've been cooking for many years in the United States and over here in Europe. And I have plenty of recipe videos as well as reaction videos. And I am making more recipe videos, more to come this summer. So be sure to stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, let's get started.
Gordon Ramsay used to be Uncle Gordon, but then he lose Uncle title so many times and still can't reclaim it. Hiya. Many niece and nephew telling Uncle Roger, I need to review Gordon grilled cheese video. Grilled cheese, easiest thing to make. Only 2 ingredients, grill and cheese.
Normally, grilled cheese sandwich also includes bread, but I guess that's optional, isn't it?
Even easier than egg fried rice. Surely he can win back his uncle title this time, correct? Tasmania. Go all the way there to make grilled cheese?
Gordon's in Tasmania. If anyone doesn't know where that is, Tasmania is an island just south of Australia. And in Tasmania, you have the Tasmanian devil. There's another little animal in Australia. I forget what it's called. I think it's a corca or something. It takes selfies. Really cute selfies.
Now, we all love grilled cheese. I grew up with it. That was cheese on toast. There's something quite amazing for a grilled cheese, especially when you have these incredible.
That look like wrong cheese?
A Romano with pepperberry and Asiago.
Romano and Asiago, completely wrong cheese, Gordon. Grilled cheese, simple dish, just use normal American cheese. You know that little square, even Kraft single, okay? Why using this fancy Romano Asiago bullshit? I think Gordon's so rich, he forgot what normal cheese look like.
Today, Gordon is using 2 cheeses, Romano and Asiago. Romano is made from sheep's milk and is a very hard cheese. It's considered one of the harder cheeses and it's not a good melter. You can use it, but if you're gonna try to melt this cheese, you need to put it on very low heat and it just doesn't contain a lot of moisture. Now, Asiago, on the other hand, is made from cow's milk and this is a better melter. And as far as using American like Kraft cheese, I don't like this cheese. If you want, you can even use brie or camembert or any other stinky little cheese that melts very nicely.
To do the ultimate grilled cheese with this,
It's dry cheese, it's not gonna melt.
I'm gonna just cut nice bits.
First step all wrong already. It's like Jamie Oliver video. This one,
This is like a Jamie Oliver video. What an insult. If any of you didn't know, in the past, Gordon and Jamie didn't really get on with each other. So by calling Gordon more like Jamie, and you know, it's like a Jamie video, that's an insult to him. It really is.
see that cheese?
Those pepperberries is gonna
Drier and stiffer than my ex-wife.
so we've got these nice, long, luscious, sort of mini bricks of cheese.
This is the kind of cheese you serve at white people wedding. You know, like little cheese plate, that all you eat. It's not supposed to be for grilled cheese, hiya.
Now just look at this. This is the Romano. Look how dry it looks. And it also looks like it may have been out a little while too. Like this isn't like he just got it. Like the cheese has been sitting out for a bit. So it's even drier on top of that. Not a good melter.
Make sure the bread,
Bread wrong again. Grilled cheese, just use regular sliced bread. What wrong with that? Again with this fancy European bullshit. Why your bread look like rock?
Believe it or not, when making grilled cheese, there is a lot more that goes into it than just picking a little bit of bread and cheese. It depends on the type, because not all types of cheese are the same, not all melt the same, and the same thing with bread. Not all are suited to be a good type of bread to make a grilled cheese with. However, if you are using more of a rustic type loaf, you can still use it to make a grilled cheese. It's not an issue. It's actually healthier for you instead of buying the white bread that you see in the stores. The trick to making a grilled cheese with any type of bread like ciabatta or a baguette is that you get the bread fresh the day of. Because if it's fresh, you're not going to chip a tooth. If it's like a day old and you know you can crack it or break it in half, then it's not good bread to make a grilled cheese with.
Look at that.
This bread not for grilled cheese. The crust on there is too hard. It's gonna cut your own mouth. See, you even have trouble cutting. That's how hard it is.
This is too thick because again, if each slice of the bread is going to be too thick, you have to think, is that going to be so thick that you can't even like put it in your mouth? I mean, it happens, yeah? So it's better to cut it a little thinner. It also helps the cheese melt because then you won't have so much bread in between the heat source and the cheese.
Okay.
Okay, butter, okay, first correct thing. Almost 2 minutes into video. First thing he got correct so far.
Golly, what's with Uncle Roger today? It's like somebody pissed in his cereal. He is so hard with Gordon on this grilled cheese. I mean, okay, he's making a few mistakes. Yes, some easy amateur mistakes, but you don't need to be so like aggressive about it. Relax a little bit. Life's good. Relax.
Again, cover it with butter. I want to season the outside.
Salt, okay.
Some salt.
The salt thing is a chefy thing. The only thing is that if you're using salted butter, you don't need to be adding extra salt to it, more than likely. Technically, if you want to add the salt at the end, like add some salt mull, then you could as well. You don't need to add it before.
And then from there, layer your cheese.
Usually Uncle Roger don't put cheese on bread yet. I toast bread first, flip over, then put cheese on top. Then the bread hot already, gonna help cheese melt.
Oh, look it up, Roger. Actually, this way of making grilled cheese does work because the bread is already hot on that side, so it does speed up the process. But then again, there are tricks to make the cheese melt faster. You could also like put a lid on it, or if you have a panini machine, you can use the panini machine to make a grilled cheese. Actually, those work quite well.
Your cheese. And sort of almost
Dry cheese on cold bread like that.
comes.
It's not gonna go well.
And the secret behind this grilled cheese is a little bit of kimchi.
What?
Made kimchi.
What he say?
He said kimchi.
Walao, kimchi in grilled cheese?
Hey, by the way, kimchi is a little weird to add to a grilled cheese.
This Western food, why you use kimchi? Uncle Roger's so confused.
They can work, I'm not saying they don't. A lot of things work with sandwiches. A lot of different combinations and ingredients. I mean, if you had to sum this up in one word, I think the word perfectly for this would just be bizarre or strange.
He really using kimchi.
Which is going to give a nice.
He using kimchi like Jamie Oliver using chili jam. No kimchi in grilled cheese. Grilled cheese just bread and cheese, that it.
Oh, I mean, come on, Uncle Roger. You can have a little fusion thing going on here, you know. A little bit of this from this culture, a little bit of that from another culture, and see if the flavors mix.
Which is going to give a nice spicy texture
Spice is not texture. Gordon, you having stroke, is it?
to that incredible cheese. Now, the acidity in this kimchi is incredible.
Acidity for what? Nobody eating sandwich and then thinking, you know what this sandwich need more of? Acidity. It not acid enough for me. It not corrosive enough.
For me, I wouldn't be saying, you know, it's like not acidic enough. For me, technically speaking, it's more like it's not spicy enough because I like to add spice to just about everything. However, if you did want to add like a little bit of spice and acidity, you could just add a bit of Tabasco to it.
Breathtaking. Fold that over.
Oh, that too thick.
Beautiful fireplace over there.
You fireplace cooking in why? Cooking in fireplace for what? You got stove behind you, Gordon. Why you use fireplace? Fireplace you can't control heat. It gonna burn the bread. Grilled cheese opposite of egg fried rice. You need low heat. You have to melt cheese without burning bread.
Uncle Roger's right about this. The reason why you don't want to have a super hot pan when putting the sandwich in the pan to then melt the cheese is that the bread can burn before the cheese has time to melt. So the best method is to get a pan on lower heat and allow that heat to penetrate the sandwich to melt the cheese. There's nothing wrong with using a fireplace or even a stove to cook things. I've done that in the past in the US when I was living out on the farm. It's just very important to keep an eye on it, especially when you cannot control the heat.
Nice and
That's so extra. You're not white woman, Gordon. No need to be rustic. Fireplace only for keeping warm and burning evidence.
touch of olive oil in.
Touch of oil and he pour a whole bottle.
Get the temperature up. Push that down. Nice.
Pressing it down is not going to do much to help it, you know, especially in the beginning.
And in she goes.
No. If your grilled cheese sizzling, you fucked up. Your pan too hot, this fire too big, your sandwich too thick, the fire too far from cheese, you're not gonna reach it. The fire and cheese in long distance relationship, how this gonna work? Hiya.
I have a sneaky little suspicion that this is going to burn. And if I'm right, you have to give the video a like.
Now, as she cooks, start putting some weight on there.
Push it down for what?
Pushing that down.
This grilled cheese, not emotion.
Just pushing that down.
Okay, flipping bread.
Turn that over.
Hiya, you see? Bread burnt already. Cheese still solid. Hiya, Gordon, you know you fucked up. Just start over.
The piece of the sandwich that was the closest to the heat source, the fire, burnt. Yeah, it caramelized too much and it burned. The pan's too hot. It needs to be on much lower heat and it takes a lot longer to melt that cheese.
Beautiful.
The bread's so thick, no way heat can get through. Fireman can wear that bread and run into burning building.
And then once you've collared both sides back out, and just place your spatula on top and push down.
Push what? Push?
The cheese nicely melted.
No, it's not. Stop lying to people. How pushing gonna make it melt? Niece and nephew, you ever tried to melt ice cube by pushing it?
One little tip, if you're going to be using a spatula to smash your sandwich and squish it down, just keep in mind that most spatulas that people have in their houses are not industrial. Yeah, they're cheap little spatulas that break easily. And with this one, it looks a little flimsy. You can easily bend them.
The kimchi with that incredible cheese, especially with that pepperberry, it's just gonna be a wonderful combination. And also, it just helps elevate the flavor.
Elevate what? What you saying? Grilled cheese don't need elevation. It's tasty already. You're wasting expensive bread, expensive cheese, and expensive kimchi. Don't show this video to Auntie Esther. It's gonna break her heart. Kimchi, your favorite thing?
Guys, I'm curious. Let me know down below, would you try this sandwich with the Romano and Asiago cheese, with the rustic bread, as well as with the kimchi? Would you give it a try? If you have done something a little similar, or if you have made like a bizarre combination as well, let me know down below. I'm curious to find out.
Grilled cheese. Take that out. Turn that over.
Look at that. Look at that. The cheese look like block. Grilled cheese not supposed to look like Minecraft.
It's cracking away. Beautiful. The cheese is melted.
No, it's not melted. Stop lying to people, Gordon.
A few little tricks to make the cheese melt faster. If you're using a pan, instead of actually closing the sandwich and then doing one side and the other, open both sides of the sandwich, put the cheese on top, and then put a lid on it. And then, after the cheese is melted, you can combine the two pieces, the two halves, and you have a grilled cheese sandwich. You can do the same thing in the oven as well if you don't want to use a pan. And that way, it is a better way of trying to avoid this burning situation and also to help you melt the cheese, because otherwise, who likes a grilled cheese where the cheese isn't melted?
Yeah, how crispy that is.
How many cutting board you need to cut bread?
Beautiful.
Raw cheese on burnt bread. See how hard it is to chew? Proper grilled cheese, you bite into it, the melted cheese gonna be long string. It's so satisfying. But this one, it's like biting into brick.
You know, if you have weak teeth or if you have dentures, you better do yourself a favor and not try to eat it.
It's incredible.
Incredible.
spicy. The acidity of that kimchi and that bread cooked in the open fire. The acidity of that kimchi and that bread cooked in the open fire.
That's the sentence with the most wrong thing Uncle Roger ever hear.
Seriously? I think Uncle Roger's having a little lapse of memory here. Jamie has said a few strange things, much weirder than what Gordon has said here in previous videos.
It's joyful. Really, really joyful.
You know, it's got that wonderful sort of tropical flavour, like really, really perfect.
Uncle Roger never hear anyone describe curry as tropical before.
Let me know in the comments.
Look at that. You call this grilled cheese? He barely eat anything. That's how you know it's terrible. Wrong stove, wrong bread, wrong cheese, everything wrong. This video so bad you make Jamie Oliver look like Uncle Wang Gang. If Gordon served this on Hell's Kitchen, he gonna be called Idiot Sandwich. The quest for Gordon to reclaim Uncle title continue.
That was a bizarre video. I mean, honestly, if you think of this, just imagine this. Would you think that if one of Ramsay's chefs made that for him, that he'd be happy with that? Because I can tell you right now that if one of his chefs made something like that for the restaurant or for him personally to eat, he'd be screaming at them and saying, what is this, blah, 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 blah. He would be. Then again, I'm not saying that it's total, crap, that you have to throw it in the trash or anything like this. No, but it's not a nice grilled cheese. That's it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Be sure to check out this next one coming up here. Oh, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Until next time, take care.